Today I have Xyron Creative Station hacks, tips, and more, and I can't wait to share with you. Today's video is going to blow your mind. I have my Xyron Creative Station. I know a lot of you have been anticipating more hacks, tips, and tricks for the Xyron machine, so get ready to create with me. I have 2 sheets of cardstock that I've pre-cut. The dimensions are 3.5 by 4 3/4 inches. I'm going to open up my Xyron, and since the length of my Xyron adhesive is so wide, that's why I'm starting off with the 2 sheets. And I'm just going to stick these in the machine, and then that way, if you can see, if you're not familiar with Xyron, there is a hand crank on the side. So I'm just going to roll these through the machine. And I'm going to try to turn this around so you can see it coming out the other side. I just ordered the smaller machine just so I don't have to swap out my adhesive, because this can take the 5-inch adhesive too. But I ordered the small one because it's really hard to film on camera with the longer version. So we're going to make this come out to where when we bend this down, it's going to come out. You can see this. Put this up here. See how this edge of the plastic is meeting with the edge of my paper? That's where I want this to stop at. Once I've got it all rolled out, I'm going to just use the cutter here, press down, and I'm going to slice that all the way off. So this is going to give us a nice edge on here. I absolutely love collecting scissors because you can never have too many pairs of scissors, but when they work and they're super functional, it's just the best thing in the world. I got these in the mail yesterday and I am raving about these. I never thought that they would be a better pair of scissors, but Tim Holtz knocked it out of the park with these scissors. So I'm going to slice this in 2 right up through the center. These are so lightweight and they cut like butter. They're so easy to cut with. So if you're looking for an amazing pair of scissors, I'm going to be doing a full out review on these in a couple of days. They are by far super amazing. I only need 1 of these, so I'm going to file the other away for another project. I'm going to bring in my Big Shot Foldaway. This is just easier for me to show you on video all this techniques and everything without using my Big Shot switch, which I absolutely love, but it's harder to film with that machine. Just so you know, all the links for everything that I'm using will be in the description below this video so that you can find everything that you need. Right now I have my base plate, my adapter, my clear plate. Then I'm going to put this is going to be the milky side down. So we want the top clear sheet facing up. And then I'm going to place my rubber mat on top of that. And it has to be this thin. Don't use anything else. And then I'm going to put my top plate on top of that, and then I'm going to run it through the machine. And when you're using this technique, one thing I want to stress is when you're using an embossing mat, you see how it kind of slides out like this? If you're using especially one of those electric machines, don't ever reverse it back. Don't ever hit the reverse button when you're using an embossing mat in your machine, because you do not want to tear up your machine. That is a big no-no. Never reverse it. I'm just going to take this all apart. And you can see how flat that made that. It's really got that adhesive really tight to the edges now, nice and smooth. One of my favorite products, Sticky Grid, and this is so important to this technique. I love the Sticky Grid. This stuff comes with sticky sides on both front and back. So I'm just going to peel off one side. And I'm just going to lay this down and just smooth that down. We're going to get it really good and stuck. Once that's stuck down, we're going to peel off the top sheet. And if it wants to peel up off your work surface, just kind of scrape it back down and it'll stick really well. I'm going to try to show you this if I can on camera, but where I cut this off, it's just a straight edge everywhere it's been cut off. But on one side of the adhesive right here, you can see there's like a little plastic lip. I'll try to get that. There we go. Get that in focus. So what you're going to do is start at that edge and you're just going to peel it back just like that. You see how I did that? Just peeled right back. Now just hold this down and you're just going to peel back until you've got half of this showing. You see how I peeled that back just like that, real easy. Now you're going to come up here and you're going to stick it to the sticky grid. You see how I did that? I'll take it back off and show you. Since I peeled it up so far, we've got this part overhanging right here. I'm trying to explain that the best that I possibly can. But with this overhang, you're just going to stick it down to the sticky grid. And make sure it's just somewhere near the top. And just press that down. And that's going to hold really well. Now, while that's stuck like that, you're just going to pull the rest of it down. Just like that. Just be easy. And voila. This is completely off, and this is what we want. It keeps everything tight and smooth. That's what we want. The very center of this, I've got a mixed sequin pack of beautiful blue. And now I'm just gonna dump just a few in the center. You don't want too many, just a little bit. And it just depends on your personal project, whether you want a lot or a little bit in here. But I've just putting a few in here. Now remember, this piece right here, it's got the sticky on the back of it that we've done. And this can be used for a whole nother card, which is really cool. This is the adorable little stamp set that I'm going to be using to create this card. All of the supplies that I'm using for this card will be linked in the description below. There's another 3.5 by 4 3/4 inches piece of cardstock. I've already pre-stamped everything, did my coloring, did some really shiny paper stars and glued those on. But other than that, it's just a little bit of coloring, a little bit of stamping, a little bit of blending, and all the colors, everything will be in the description below. Now comes for the fun and really cool part. So on here, this is going to be hard to pick up on camera, but you can see where the adhesive is and where there's no adhesive. Now I'm just going to flip this over, colored side toward my sequins, and I'm just going to set this down here, and you're going to feel some resistance when you press it down where the card starts meeting the adhesive. And the same for the bottom. Just line it up. And you'll be able to see this better when you're doing it yourself than what I'm showing it on camera. But then we're going to just hold this and we're going to come up here to the top. And just hold that top down. And you're going to pull it tight against the cardstock. And you're just going to smooth it down. Really easy. And then you're going to come down here to the bottom edge and you're going to lift up on the bottom corner, fold it up tight and smooth it down. And now over here on this edge, just make sure everything is pressed down tight when you lift these corners up. And just really easy, pull them over and just stick them down. Same way with the last side. Make sure, because see how it'll kind of hoove up on you a little bit? Just push it down with your fingers. This is so easy. And then just push it down with your fingers. And now you're going to have some loose corners right here. And we're just going to go in with scissors. I'm going to snip those off. Just like that. Pull up this corner. Because we're just slicing off the excess. So just like that, try to show you that better. Then the last piece, see how I'm just pulling that up like that, and then just slice that corner off. I'm gonna lift this up off of the sticky grid. And you can hear that pulling up. And look how cute. You got your own little shaker. And now we're going to finish this card off. Packing back away the sticky grid, you're just going to take the same top sheets that you removed and make sure you have the correct side or it's not going to want to stick very well. But just lay it back on top and then just smooth it out. And then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to pull it off. And I'm going to adhere my other side. You can get it more perfect, but this gives you an idea how to put your sticky grid back away and reuse it, because this is a reusable product. As long as it's sticky and you can use it, you can reuse this. Nice thing about this stamp set and the way I've done the coloring on it and the blending is you can make this as masculine or as feminine as you want. Totally up to you. So I've got those glitter paper pack, and it's not a cardstock. It's more of like a paper, but it's like a heavier paper. And there's lots of choices of gorgeous colors. So you can really change up the look of your card just by the background that you put on it. So if you want it to be a little more feminine, a little more girly, just choose like a pink or purples. But if I want to keep it more for a boy, I can just put the background on it just like that, and you can see how that drastically changes the color. Another fun thing that you can do, I have the stars done out of this same exact paper. So if you want it to be to where you can just grab a card and it can be feminine or masculine, whatever, totally neutral card, you can choose that. I brought in the stars for that, and it's a totally neutral background. I love this. So I am just going, this could be an anybody card. I like to use my nesting dies to cut out my backgrounds for my card layers. This, just in case you just need to cut yours out by hand, this is 4 inches by 5¼ inches. It's the second layer down in the set, and they're so easy to cut out using your die cutting machine. So if you don't have these dies, these nesting dies, just use your paper trimmer to cut everything out. Use my favorite wet glue. It doesn't warp the cards or anything. It's the Fabri-Tac glue. It's such a sweet little shaker card. If you want your stuff to be able to move around in here a little and like really shake, just leave your adhesive up here not as tight. Leave it a little bit looser so the plastic has a little bit more give to it. But I really like the fact that all of my sequins are here. It just gives it a lot of bling and a lot of character. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to go back and check out my existing hack and tip videos on my channel. Subscribe, leave me a comment below, and put a big thumbs up on this video. It really helps my channel a lot. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in that next video.